Good afternoon. My name is Antonella Rizza, and I'm the CEO of Lymphoma Canada. It is my privilege and honor to welcome you to Lymphoma Canada's annual National Patient Conference on Lymphoma and CLL. We are so happy to have you join from wherever you are in Canada. We are thrilled to continue to host our conference virtually again this year, allowing those even in remote areas of the country the opportunity to attend this event. Over these next 3 days, patients and caregivers across Canada have the opportunity to learn more about lymphoma, its subtypes, new treatments, and survivorship topics from the comfort and safety of your own homes. As you know, lymphoma is the 5th most common cancer in Canada. There are over 100,000 Canadians that are currently living with lymphoma, whether just newly diagnosed or in survivorship. It is estimated that approximately 15,000 Canadians are diagnosed with lymphoma and CLL every year. Lymphoma is the only Canadian charitable organization that is focused solely on lymphoma. 2023 marks the 25th anniversary of the founding of Lymphoma Canada. What a wonderful milestone. Together, we've spent a quarter of a century delivering on our mission of empowering patients and the lymphoma community through education, support, advocacy, and research. Our vision is a life unlimited by lymphoma. At Lymphoma Canada, we are committed to recognizing the needs of patients and their families and ensuring that our programs and services are tailored to the needs of the lymphoma community across Canada. In addition to providing this conference on an annual basis, we also host webinars throughout the year on various topics that are of particular interest to the patients we serve. We co-host a national support group in collaboration with Wellspring and also match patients with peer mentors should they wish to speak to someone that has walked in their path before them. We advocate for equitable access for all Canadians to new and innovative therapies, and we fund research whose purpose it is to better the outcomes of Canadian lymphoma and CLL patients. Further, every year on September 15th, which is World Lymphoma Awareness Day, we host our signature awareness and fundraising event called Laps Around Lymphoma, a fitness walk where, over a 2-week period, we encourage participants to walk 100,000 steps in honor of the 100,000 plus patients that are currently living with lymphoma and CLL in Canada. We would love to have you join us next year as we take laps around lymphoma on September 15th. To learn more about what events, resources, and supports Lymphoma Canada offers, please visit our website at lymphoma.ca. There are many advisory bodies that provide Lymphoma Canada with guidance and support. These include our Scientific Advisory Board, our Nursing Advisory Board, and our Patient and Family Advisory Committee. We are so very thankful for their contributions to Lymphoma Canada. We are also so grateful to our donors and volunteers, without whom we could not continue our mission. To learn about ways you can give back to Lymphoma Canada, please visit our website. Lymphoma Canada has many resources available, both digitally and in printed form. We have patient guides for newly diagnosed patients, subtype-specific fact sheets, side effect guides, treatment guidelines, and pamphlets on many important lymphoma-related topics. You can download and access many of our resources by adding them to your swag bag during this event. Details on how to do this can be found at the help desk and in the FAQs. In addition to educational resources, Lymphoma Canada is also happy to provide support via Lymphoma Links, our peer-to-peer mentorship program that is available to both patients and caregivers. More information on this program can be found on our website. We are thrilled to welcome the excellent lineup of expert healthcare professionals that we have joining us from across Canada over the next few days. We have speakers attending from various provinces and focused on different specialty areas to provide you the latest information with respect to lymphoma subtypes and treatment options, health and well-being, as well as survivorship. We would like to thank our presenters for their exceptional daily contributions to the lymphoma community and for coming together over these next 3 days to support lymphoma patients and caregivers interested in learning more. We so look forward to the presentations, and we would like to take this opportunity to thank them for their time and efforts in creating the presentations. We would like to take a moment to thank our generous sponsors. Our national conference would not have been possible without their support. Our platinum sponsor, BeiGene, a biotechnology company that translates science into impactful medicines for cancer patients around the world, with a pipeline featuring lymphoma therapies. We thank them generously for their platinum sponsorship of the Lymphoma Canada Educational Conference this year, and for continuing to assist in providing valuable educational opportunities for patients. Our gold sponsors, we have 3 wonderful gold sponsors this year, and we thank them for their continued and generous support. They are AstraZeneca, a science-led biopharmaceutical company pushing the boundaries of science to deliver life-changing medicines. Janssen, a pharmaceutical company of Johnson & Johnson, has been an innovator in the Canadian healthcare industry for over 50 years. And we thank our gold sponsor, Mallinckrodt, a specialty pharmaceutical company focused on their mission, listening for needs, delivering solutions. We thank our silver sponsors, AbbVie and Kite Gilead, for their continued support of our national conference. Finally, we would like to thank our bronze sponsors, Bristol Myers Squibb, Incyte, Kyowa Kirin, Recordati, Roche, and Seagen, and our other sponsoring partner, Novartis. Again, I am so happy to welcome all of you to our event, and I hope you find it to be educational and informative. Without further ado, it is my privilege to introduce our conference chair and presenter, Dr. Carrie Savage. Dr. Savage is a professor of medicine at the University of British Columbia and has been a medical oncologist and clinical scientist at BC Cancer with the lymphoma tumor group since 2003. She is the chair of this year's patient conference and sits on the Scientific Advisory Board for Lymphoma Canada. We thank Dr. Savage for her generous contribution in helping to plan this conference and for presenting at the upcoming sessions on peripheral T-cell lymphoma, at the Q&A related to aggressive B-cell lymphomas, and in the panel discussion related to life beyond lymphoma. Thank you, Dr. Savage, and welcome. Over to you.
Good afternoon. I'm Carrie Savage. I'm a medical oncologist at BC Cancer in Vancouver. I've had a long-standing interest in lymphoma from both a clinical and a research perspective. I do clinical outcomes research as well as participate in clinical trials with a particular interest in Hodgkin's lymphoma and peripheral T-cell lymphomas. It's truly an honor to chair this year's Lymphoma Canada Patient Forum in Lymphoma and CLL. Over the next few days, you'll hear talks from experts from around the country, giving the latest updates in various lymphoma subtypes, as well as exciting new therapies on the horizon, including CAR T-cell therapy. On Thursday, we'll hear survivorship stories as life goes beyond the lymphoma, as well as hear about the role of exercise in nutrition. It's also a pleasure to introduce this year's caregiver and patient to give their perspective, and they also happen to be married. I first met Dean in 2020, but his lymphoma actually stretches all the way back to 2009. And I know Jen as we were childhood friends and neighbors, and this is truly a small world. Dean was first diagnosed with follicular lymphoma in 2009, and as it was localized, he received radiation treatment. It recurred in 2020, and a biopsy showed it had transformed to diffuse large B-cell lymphoma, an aggressive subtype. He received R-CHOP chemotherapy like a champ and remains in remission. I'll turn it over to Dean and Jen to tell their story. Thank you.